Supreme Magus, Web Novel, Chapter 119, Exordium. Lith waited for his companions to fully understand the seriousness of his situation. Without their aid, he feared to be forced to expose himself and his family to countless dangers. Each one of them was forced to a really difficult choice. Either to back up his story, lying to the headmaster and put their academic careers and family name in danger, or refuse, leaving him to shoulder alone the consequences of his attempt to prevent the ruin of the academy. I'm aware I'm asking much from you, but please know that I'm not doing this lightly. If any of you doesn't want to get involved, I would understand and bear no grudge. An awkward silence ensued. Most of them didn't know how to answer. On one hand, they felt proud of our friend, not only willing to risk so much to protect the country from the civil war, but also having enough trust in them to reveal his secret. On the other, though, they felt scared by the consequences both choices would bear. But most importantly, they realized that he was asking from them a leap of faith. If his revelation had proved something, was that they actually knew nothing about him. Lith was already eerie back when he glared all the time, breezing through the classes and single-handedly disposing of magical beasts in the mock exam. But now, didn't he has just admitted not being a normal human? For all they knew, his unnatural speed and strength could be just the tip of the iceberg. That wasn't a situation any of them had ever taken into account when joining the White Griffin Academy. For Uriel the plan had always been to study hard, have as many flings as possible before his arranged marriage, and inherit the family assets. Floria's only aim was to graduate with grades high enough to allow her to avoid any arranged marriage, and live her life as she wanted. After finding out that her mother didn't care for her as a daughter, but only as a tool for her plots, Freya had become determined to become as successful as possible to give her the middle finger before leaving the household for good. Kyla, instead, just wanted to never suffer from loneliness and starvation again. Things had just turned so much complicated. Contrary to everyone's expectation, it was Uriel the first to answer. You can count on me. He gave him a thumbs up. Kyla would probably follow him even if he revealed to be an undead or a shape-shifting monster. Uriel thought, Freya will simply come along. Those two are so glued together that I wouldn't be surprised even if she accepted to take part in a threesome. That leaves out only Floria, but she seems too much bounded to honor and loyalty to abandon a teammate in dire straits. Hence, instead of looking like a coward, is better to move first. Besides, no pain no gain. Once it gets out we managed to kill a monster, my reputation will go through the roof, and if somehow our discover prevents the civil war, I'll take credit for that too. Although cynical, Uriel's reasoning was in the ballpark. He had anticipated Kyla of a split second, and as soon she spoke, Freya agreed too, leaving the flabbergasted Floria looking like an egotistical jerk. What the F*** CK? I mean, I'm in. She blushed so hard to almost look cute. After thanking them, Lith proceeded to describe again the fight versus the abomination, concocting with their help a believable team victory. They were still discussing when a voice resounded in the air, just like the gong for the lessons, summoning them in the headmaster's office. They walked as slowly as possible, trying to fix the last details. When they entered the office, Linhose was waiting for them, standing up in front of the glass window. We are ready to report, sir. Floria stepped forward, straight as an arrow in a military-looking pose. No need, he replied without even turning back, prompting them to get close with a wave of his hand. While they obeyed, each one more nervous than the other, Linhose spun his index finger in the air, and the whole tower where the office was located started to turn around, until it faced a particular region of the forest that was completely bald. The whole group was shocked. If not for the change in the landscape they would have never guessed the tower was able to move. It all had happened without the slightest vibration. That's where the fight took place, correct? Linhose asked. Yes, Floria replied, swallowing down a lump of saliva. Good gods, how big was that thing? How strong Lith really is? They thought as one. Normally I wouldn't believe a word of your story. Too many things do not add up. But even if that horrible withered scar wasn't proof enough, I have already contacted the Lord of the Forest, which confirmed everything. So, either you are telling a truth worthy of being sung by bards, or I'm the victim of an incredibly elaborate joke. When Scarlet had received Linho's call about the abomination, it had immediately understood what was happening. Knowing what humans would do to an awakened one, and being still interested in Lith's development, the Scorpicore nodded to everything, even introducing to Linhose the rescued dryad before hanging up the call. Animals can talk? Uriel couldn't avoid asking out in surprise. Animals can't. Monsters, instead, speak fluently just like you and I. Linhose turned around, looking Lith in the eyes. That leaves me with only a couple of questions. How come Lith was the one to decide what to do with what you found? Because the dryad sensed that was his soul being in danger. Floria promptly improvised. Everything we found seemed to be linked to his destiny. We simply thought we had no say in the matter. And that leads to the second question. Why you contacted Martianus Distar instead of coming to me first? I could have expected that from Lord Dearest or Lady Erna's here, giving such important news and evidence to their families to gain the court's favor. But you? You were just a commoner. Why you decided to overrule me? His voice didn't sound angry, as much as dejected. With all due respect, sir, I'm not overruling you, Lith replied. Martianus Distar is not only the ruler of this region, as also one of those that taught me magic. He clung to the lie that got him admitted in the academy months ago. Also, I think she is better suited to handle the matter, since she is more detached from the problem that, albeit just in part, you contributed to create. Explain. Linho's eyes steeled, a tinge of anger appeared into them. In my opinion, your reform of the academy system is a true paradise for those who work hard and commoners, and that's the problem. Have you ever heard the fable of the boiling frog? If you put one in hot waters, it will jump away to safety, but if you rise the temperature slowly, it will die without even noticing it. The problem was already there, you had the right solution, but implemented it too fast. I believe that a man of your knowledge should have been able to predict it and proceed with more caution. Linho's was already hurt by their lack of trust. The last remark hit a nerve, tinging his cheeks red with anger and shame.